Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather, for organizing this, putting all this together, facilitating this webinar today. I'm such an absolute pleasure to be here and representing the Better Business Bureau and just educating, trying to protect everyone, trying to protect our community. And thank you, Yana, as well. It was great to hear all the great work that you do at Korea, and great to hear about the new location and the barbecue that's going to happen tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have other commitments tomorrow, but I would have loved to join the barbecue. So yeah, let's get this webinar started. The Common Scams is the title of today's webinar, and when it's too good to be true is what we thought it's a good fit. As all scams, generally speaking, do start with an offer that usually just looks too good to be true or sounds too good to be true. So we're going to dive into this. We're going to discuss the most common scams that we've been seeing and we've been receiving through our scam tracker in 2023. That's really prevalent, and it's affecting all of us, really. And before we dive into that, I just need to take 1 second to thank to our trusted sponsors, H&R Block and Peregrine General Pest Control, for their support. It's through their support that we are able to bring these presentations free into our community, as well as through our accredited businesses. So I thank them all for that. All right, so let's present my agenda for you all today. So I will be just talking very briefly about the Better Business Bureau, who we are, how we help our community of businesses and consumers. And then we'll talk about what's important to know about scams, top scams in 2023. I will be sharing prevention tips. And in the end, I will be sharing a few resources of where to go if you need further help. If you are a victim of a scam, what is it that you can do, where you can get help from. All right. So for those of you who have not heard of the Better Business Bureau or have not had any connection with the Better Business Bureau, I will just say that we are a nonprofit organization. We were founded back in 1912. So we have a long-standing history of over 100 years. And we've been serving Calgary and Southern Alberta for the past 70 years. We are celebrating 70 years this year, actually. And Calgary and Southern Alberta means down to Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and then up to the Cranbrook area. We have a website that's called bbb.org. So the triple B, bbb.org. And on that website, you can find all the services that we offer to consumers and businesses. Some of them are listed on this slide here. So we have business profiles. We have millions of profiles, listings on different, on all types of businesses, basically, and of any size, small, medium size, large, giant companies, and of any industry. And we offer accreditation. So it's an option for companies to become accredited with the Better Business Bureau. However, if they choose that route, if they want to be accredited, they need to commit to our standards of trust. And then dispute resolution is really a big department that we handle complaints, reviews, investigations. We do mediation, arbitration as part of alternative dispute resolution that we offer to consumers and businesses alike. And Scam Tracker is just a very important tab that I will be talking about just in the next slide. And public education is what I represent. And my team, we go out in our community that we are serving, and we host presentations and webinars, such as this one today, on topics around scams and frauds. So we go to newcomers organizations, seniors retirement homes, we go to college students, and we also go to businesses, as everyone is impacted or can be impacted by scams. All right, so I do have a question on this slide. And the question is, have you ever been scammed? It's a powerful question. And the reason we put this question on the slide, if you feel free to share anything, you can do so in the chat box. Um, so it's a powerful question, but we are keeping this slide on each of my on each of my presentations because we wanna help everyone to start a conversation around this, to not feel ashamed. As many times, more often than not, I hear everyone telling me that I have been scammed, or I almost fell a victim to a scam, or it almost happened to me, but I'm just feeling ashamed. I just don't want to talk about it. I just feel guilty. I should have known better. I should have not done that. I should have not, like all that guilt. So we feel like we put an unnecessary pressure on us by not talking about this. And so it's important, really important to be open to talk about it, to share our experiences, what happened, who connected, who contacted us, what was the offer, did we lose any information, personal information, confidential information, did we lose any money? And of course, if we're going through any type of scam situation, we most likely will lose a lot of peace of mind, we'll lose trust, and it will cause a lot of stress to us, a lot of mental stress. So that's, again, more reason we should talk about this. And because I asked the question, I want to say, yes, I have been scammed. I have been scammed. Luckily, as far as I know, I did not lose any money or any information to the scam, but I was scammed. And I will just briefly tell you my story. It was a Microsoft scam. So I was working on my computer, on my laptop, and I received a message, a pop-up message that said that my computer was at risk, and I had to call a number, a certain phone number, to have that corrected, to have that um, they wanted to correct that issue with my computer. I was also given an instruction to not tell anyone, and that to act fast. Okay, so it's really scary for me, who I do handle scams and I do educate on scams. Even for myself, it was a very a powerful moment. It was a moment when my heart almost stopped beating for a second, because it has an impact. It does impact you emotionally. So what I knew I needed to do at that moment, and just really to listen to that gut feeling that tells you what to do. So I knew, I need to do anything I can to get rid of this message, to block this, or try to I don't want to see this message anymore. So I just turned off my laptop. I even unplugged it from my from the wall, just to make sure that everything is turned off. I did call our IT company, since this was happening during work on my work computer. I did call our company's IT company, and they did a virus check, and they confirmed that it was a phishing attack. So it wasn't a test or anything. It was an actual phishing attack, Microsoft type of scam attack. Somebody was trying to get into my computer to potentially get a hold of some of the information I store in my computer, or to get money from me. So the two questions that our IT company asked me were, did you call that number? I said, no, I did not. And then the second question was, did you click on anything on the screen, on any links or anything? I said, I did not. So they said, you're likely okay. You're probably nothing happened, but they still wanted me to do a few steps just to ensure that my computer is safe for me to continue to use it. So that's just really the most that happened to me. Of course, I do get a lot of attempts. I get messages every day on my phone. I get emails, I get voicemail messages, all of that. However, I kind of, I think I know better what to do in those cases. And you know what I do? I simply don't answer. If I see a call that doesn't have a name on the call display, if I don't see a name on the call display, if I just see a phone number that I don't recognize, I don't associate that phone number with anyone, any individual or any company I work with, I don't respond to those phone calls. I just let it go into a message, leave me a message. If I know it's important, then I'll call you back type of situation. I do the same with messages. I don't respond to anything. I never give out personal information or confidential information to anyone over the phone or in a message or via social media. So these are just very, very simple steps that we can all do just to really, stay in our safe bubble and in our comfort zone. But there are times when we do need to answer phones, when we are expecting few messages, we want to respond, then we really need to know what to do in those cases. So we're going to continue talking about this, but again, feel free to share if you'd like to in the chat box, if you've been scammed, if you feel comfortable talking about this, of course. So we do, as I mentioned, we do have a scam tracker on our website, bbb.org scam tracker. And this is a very good and powerful tool. And the reason it is powerful is because it empowers us as consumers or businesses to report a scam to the Better Business Bureau or to look up a scam. So if you just simply want to look up to see how many, let's say, investment or cryptocurrency scams were reported to the Better Business Bureau in 2023, you can do that just by clicking on look up a scam. If you came across a situation that you believe is a scam, or you'd like the BBB to investigate whether it is a scam for you, then you would click on the report a scam. Tell us what happened. Tell us the channel they reached out to you. Tell us if you lost anything, and then we'll do the investigation. And if it turns out to be a scam, we will report it to our website. We will publish it on our website for public education. So these scams report that we receive through that scam tracker go into a big pool, I should say, and then we analyze these scams. So we'll look at them, and we look at three different things. So we look at the exposure, so the volume, so how many scam types or how many scams we receive within a scam type. Then we'll look at the susceptibility, so the likelihood of certain age groups of or certain, whether students, non-students, women or men could fall victim. They are more susceptible to fall victim to certain types of scams. And we also analyze them through the median dollar loss. So we want to know if somebody falls a victim to a certain type of scams, what is the average dollar amount that they lose. So based on this, what you can see on this slide is our top 10 riskiest scams reported to Canada to the Better Business Bureau through our scam tracker. So these are the top 10. Investment cryptocurrency is the top of the list with a very high dollar loss, over $9,000. This is per victim. Employment scam is second on the list. Home improvement, so these are contractor scams, those shady contractors that show up at your door pretending to be a legitimate contractor. They turn out to be not legitimate. They are just there to take a deposit from you and leave and run away with your money, basically. They never show up to do the work, or they do show up, but just to do a shoddy work, and then just to come back and ask for even more money. So that would be the contractor type of scam. Advance fee loan is if you are looking for a loan from a loan company, they'll give you a loan, but before they release the loan to you, they'll ask for a deposit up front. And that's called the advance fee loan, which is illegal in Canada. So that's what many of our newcomers, new Canadians are not aware of this. They believe that's how loan companies or credit companies operate. So they will give them money up front and then only later they found out that they were scammed, they lose the money, and they never get the loan that they needed. So it's a lot of issues around that. It's over $1,000 that people lose to this type of scam. Online purchase. So we don't see a huge dollar loss in online purchase. However, it's very susceptible. You can see 83% susceptibility to online purchase. So there's different age groups that are more impacted by online purchase scams, younger populations, right? We do a lot of things online. We purchase things online as it's faster. So we are more susceptible to click on links that are malicious, that take us to fraudulent websites, and only to find out that those products never existed, the services never existed, the website is fake, and then we lose money and potentially banking information. Romance scam is a big one as well. Quite a high $1 million loss as well. Romance scam is also called a sweetheart scam. So if you are dating online, just be very careful with who you are engaging with online. Not everyone is who they say they are online. And really the catch in the romance scams is when they start asking money from you. Okay, they'll say they're in trouble, they want to come visit you, but they need the money to do so. So they'll ask money from you. And that's the catch. Phishing, social engineering is all those phishing emails that seem harmless at the beginning. However, they are manufactured in a way that there's always a call for action in those phishing emails. They'll send you an email, they'll say, hey, we are TD Bank, or we are the Royal Bank of Canada, or we are Netflix, or we are Amazon, or we are Canada Post, just to name a few companies. We are Walmart, we are PayPal. They impersonate big companies, giant trusted companies, and they reach out to you and they say, we just need to confirm your payment options, your date of birth, whatnot. There's always a call for action. And if you comply, if you follow through, if you respond to those emails and you provide those information, then that can potentially lead to a scam, right? They'll have a lot of information about you, and then they'll manufacture more scams. So just be careful again. If you don't know who reached out to you, don't provide any of those information to them. Travel, vacation, timeshare, I will say affects our more elderly population, or those who are looking to go on a vacation. So what happens here is if you are booking online, just make sure that the online place you're booking from is a legitimate company. So do an internet search, come to bbb.org, see if we have any profile on that company that you are working for. The risk is you are paying for a vacation package that you are expecting to receive. And when you arrive to the location, you find out that that's not what you paid for. That's not the location. That's not the hotel. You don't have a view to the beach. You get a lower quality than what you've paid for or what you expected to receive. So just again, do a lot of research before you actually go ahead with that planning. Credit card, tied to online purchases, right? So ensure that the website you are purchasing from is secure. Ensure that the company you are buying from is a legitimate company, is not a bogus company, right? So all that. And tech support is what I almost fell a victim of, right? And the interesting, tax support has never made our top 10 list, but in 2023 it did. So just be on the lookout for these type of scams. And let's cover some of these today. And of course, we need to cover our top of the list, the investment and cryptocurrency, as this has so many ramifications, so many, it's really impacting us in so many ways. But really what we need to know about investment and cryptocurrency may be a little difficult to understand, but simple things that if we have a little knowledge, then we'll be able to protect ourselves from becoming a victim of it. So the number one thing and red flags here are that this investment and cryptocurrency types of scams are usually promoted online. So that's what we most commonly hear and see, that they're online through different online platforms. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, just to name the most channels. So if you're using this online channels, if you are engaging with strangers through this online portals, just to be careful if someone is offering you an investment opportunity. Anything that offers promises or guarantees high return of the investment through Bitcoins, just know that that could potentially be a red flag of a crypto scam. We know that investments are a high risk opportunity to make money. You can make money or you can lose money through investments. But if somebody promises or guarantees you a return of your investment, that's a scammer. As legitimate businesses will never guarantee you, will never promise you. So if you're just hearing these words in an offer, or if you're seeing these words in an offer, just have those red flags that have your guard up that this could be a scam. Anything that includes that you must pay fees. Okay, so the way cryptocurrency scam usually works is somebody reaches out to you through Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook or WhatsApp, and they'll say that they have a great investment opportunity for you. It's okay if you don't understand all the elements of this opportunity. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. You can trust them. And all you need to do is to open a digital wallet. They'll tell you how to do that. They'll give you very clear instructions on how to do that, and put in a very small amount of money. Let's say $100. Okay, let's start with $100, and they'll say, this $100 will increase by next week. It will be $1,000. So you'll be making $1,000, and so on and so on. And then, of course, we are liking the idea of making money easy, that get rich quick. But that's the red flag, and that's the catch, right? So anyone who promises you to get rich quick is the catch of a scam. So you're investing, you're putting even more money, you're asked to do so. At some point, when you want to stop and you want to take your return as promised, they will not allow you. And they will always come up with excuses why you cannot do so. They'll say, there's not the time for that, whatever reason they have, but you must pay some more fees to take your return out. And so it goes on and on and on. And at some point, when you're really done and you are even perhaps threatening them with going to the police, then they'll block you. They'll stop every communication with you. They'll block you from WhatsApp. They'll disappear. They'll take down their website. So they're kind of nowhere to be found. And the sad news is that you will be going to the police. However, the police may not be able to do anything to help you at that point, because they are gone. They are disappeared. Often the scammers are not in Canada. They operate from outside of Canada, and everything is done online, virtually, in a virtual world. So there's no physical appearance. There's no physical trace of transactions that's been done. And it's really hard for anyone to try to help you. And that's why this type of scam is so risky and people lose so much money to it. So really what it comes down to, and what we say to anyone, and to not scare anyone, simply if you want to, or if you're contemplating on investing, or if you're contemplating on going ahead with an offer that you received, just ensure that you understand all the elements of that opportunity. And you can access Alberta Securities Commission. You can give them a call. You can go to their website, which is checkfirst.ca, and just check out the name of the individual or the name of the business that offered you that opportunity. See if they are registered. See if they are legally entitled to operate. See what Alberta Securities Commission can tell you about them, or what advice they can give you before you proceed with an action. And just little more tips to use. If I didn't already mention them, use good judgment. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always do your research as best as you can. Google, come to bbb.org. And don't give in to scare tactics. Some of these scammers, or maybe all of them, are very good, are doing this as a full-time job. They're becoming better and better at the high sales tactics. They will do anything they can to try to convince you, to scare you, to threaten you, to anything, any approach they'll try with you to make you. So stand strong in those situations. Don't give in the pressure, and of course understand how digital wallets work, and you can do so through Alberta Securities Commission. And I just need to take 10 more seconds to thank again to our trusted sponsors, Peregrine General Pest Control and HRR Block Canada, for supporting our educational programs. The impact of online purchase scams. I mentioned that this really is tied to credit card scams. So you can see here is a chart of our reports from 2022 with the gray line, and the 2023, which is the color lines. So online purchase scams impacts all age groups, but mainly those aged 18 to 24 and those 65 plus. Okay, so if you are within these age groups, just be a little more careful this year. So then you try to avoid falling a victim to these types of scams. So again, verify whether a website is secure, and I have the tips here. A secure website always has the HTTPS. Sometimes you will see also the sign of a padlock and then the HTTPS. So, and then use common judgment. If you don't see the HTTPS, you know the website is not secure, so don't enter your credit card or confidential information in that website. Any company that only shares good reviews or no reviews at all on their website, just be wary of that. It could not necessarily be a scam, but it just, you would ask yourself, how come a company that is known or that is supposedly known, how come they don't have any reviews or only good reviews? Okay. When it comes to contact information, the one thing I really tell everyone to do, just do a very simple, quick search of the address. You want to see if they have a physical address and where is that physical address. Often scammers, they just post an address that looks like it is legitimate. So when you see an address, you may see that, oh, it has an apartment number, a unit number, it has a street number, a postal code, etc. City name, province, or state, etc. So you would assume, just by looking at it, that it's a real address. However, if you do a quick Google map search, you may find out that the address does not exist. The location is a field, is a parking lot, right? So then that's right there is the red flag that that's not a legitimate address and potentially not a legitimate company. The phone number doesn't really connect to a real person. It's always an answering machine. So you kind of don't have the opportunity to speak with anyone physically over the phone. So that's another red flag. Anything that promises low price or the best price, limited availability, right? The best deal for you, only now, only for the next few minutes. Enter your credit card information quickly, right? High pressure are red flags. Unusual methods of payment. So if you are asked to pay for services via gift cards, iTunes cards, or cash only, be very susceptible, what is the word? I forgot the word. Just be wary that this could be a red flag of a scam, okay? Scammers are very good at not leaving any traces, right? They'll try to get the cash from you. They don't want you to pay via credit card, so that if you do pay via credit card, then you could go to your credit card company and then you can dispute the charges. They don't want you to do that, right? Anything, when you're looking at photos on a website, and if the photos, look real, you can do a quick Google reverse image search just to see if that picture of a product or of people show up in any other websites. Chances are that if it is a scam company, the same picture will show up in many other websites. So then, at that point, you know that you may be dealing with scammers. They have no problem stealing pictures from legitimate websites, as well as they don't have any shame of stealing names, legitimate companies' names, impersonating legitimate companies, their logos, their colors, fonts, and everything. And really tips to use to try to avoid online purchase scams. Always do more research on the products and the company. Look at reviews, what real people say about the product, about the company. Avoid making quick purchases when browsing social media. We may be all tempted to do so when we are on our Facebook account and different companies pop up trying to sell their products. And then we see low prices. We are very tempted to click on it and go ahead and make the purchases. But that could potentially lead us to be a victim of a scam. And always use secure and traceable transactions. Using credit cards is a good tip. And also, while you're using your credit card, also ensure that you do use online banking if you can. And you are on top of your statements, credit card statements. So you verify if there was any transaction that you are not aware of or you did not approve, that you are on top of everything. And then you connect with your credit card company right away when you notice that something is suspicious. When it comes to impersonation, really what we need to say here is that fraudsters, as I already said, that they don't really differentiate and they don't really care who they impersonate. In terms such as they'll come up with names that they think they can be today. Okay, so they may wake up one morning and they say, today we want to be Service Alberta. We want to impersonate the government of Alberta. So we'll make some calls to the public, or we'll send out masses of emails or masses of text messages to the public pretending to be the government of Alberta. And let's say pretending to say that we want to give them there's a rebate, or there's we want to give the public some money back from whatever reason, the government wants to give you money back, taxes, or different options. And all you need to do is just to click on a link. There's always, again, a call for action. These are those phishing emails, those phishing text messages. They'll say, to apply for this rebate, click on a link and provide such and such information. Okay? So be very careful. They will impersonate Calgary Police. They often impersonate the Better Business Bureau. They impersonate charities, any service, any business and any service provider. As I said, they like to impersonate banks. They like to impersonate our telephone or internet providers. Right. And what happens, and they like to impersonate individuals. They like to impersonate our loved ones. I'm not sure if you have heard of the emergency types of scams, or the grandparents type of scam, is when somebody pretending to be your loved one, your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter, will call you and they'll say, hi, grandma, or hi, grandpa. They may even have your grandson or granddaughter's voice. Okay, they're using AI technology to do so. So when you pick up the phone and you hear they say, hi, grandma, naturally you will say, oh, hi, okay? And then you may even say the name of your loved one, as that's how we communicate. And then once you confirm the name, they'll continue, right? Hi, Paula. Okay, and then they continue and they'll say, hey, grandma, I was involved in an accident. The police stopped me. There's some issues they found, or I am outside. I went for vacation. I have troubles coming back from Canada to Canada. And the thing is, the stories can match, as fraudsters use social media, social engineering to find information about us. So if let's say your loved ones are very active on social media and they post a lot of pictures of where they are on vacation, now the scammers will know that's where they are. So when they make the call to you, they'll know already that they can say that safely because you will confirm that they are there. So, and then they go and say, this is the story, and but grandma, I need help. Right. The police, I'm about to go to jail, or the police found issues and I need to pay fees to get out of this trouble. Can you do an e-transfer? Okay, do it quickly. Please, grandma, don't tell anyone. Just do what I'm telling you, okay? And do it fast. And so this is really, they're playing with our emotions. They're playing with our natural instinct to help, to want to go above and beyond, to help our loved ones. There's always a pressure, immediate need for help. There's a quick call for action with very clear instructions and always a request for money. I often hear from our seniors that they say it's very heartbreaking. It's a very difficult situation to deal with. They are asked to go to the bank. They are asked to take out large amounts of money and give it to these fraudsters. So if you believe somebody from your family called you, and if you believe they're in trouble, two simple things you should do. One is disengage right away. So hang up the phone and call back your loved one, that person who they said they called you. So call back and say, hey, did you just call me? Are you in any trouble? Are you in any need? Right? Because that's what I'm hearing. And chances are that your loved one will say, no, grandma, I didn't call you. I'm in no need. Okay. And it was just a scammer that called you. So the sooner you disengage, the better it is for you. Don't stay on the phone. Don't stay on the line. Don't play along. Don't do any of that because it can be risky. They can, grab you and wrap you around them and make you do what they're telling you to do. So just if you spot or if you believe that you're dealing with an unusual and just you're not comfortable with that conversation, with any type of scam, really, not only with emergency type of scam, hang up the phone and disengage. That's just to keep yourself safer. If it has to happen now, it has to be no, okay? So don't give in the pressure. And just more tips to use. Only do businesses with companies you know and you can trust. As Heather mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, right? Make sure you work with trustworthy businesses. You can do a Google search on them. Always welcome to come to our website again, bbb.org. As I mentioned, we have hundreds of thousands and millions of profiles across North America, and you can find really an information on really any type of company. Scammers use AI technology. This is nothing new. We know that they are using to their advantage. So be careful with what information you share. If you share information, ensure you know the person you are sharing that information with. If you don't know the person, just don't share that. If a charity shows up at your door, ensure that they are registered with Canada Revenue Agency, or we also have a website, give.org, that we report on charities. It's called BBB's Give Wise Alliance, and it's through give.org. So verify, always do your research, verify, are they registered? Are they good to go? Because if they're not, what happens? You just give your hard-earned money to scammers and it goes into their pockets. Don't click, never download or open anything from anonymous sender. We are very tempted to click on things. We want to quickly view something, review a picture, a link, but be very careful as they could upload a malicious virus into your website, or they could prompt you to give them additional information. So don't click, don't download, and don't open anything that you did not request and that you just received from someone you don't know who they are. And question every generic emails, especially if you are, let's say, I'll say, if you're looking for a job, as employment scams is second on our list as most riskiest scams in Canada. So if you are looking for a job, if you're receiving a job offer that's coming from a generic email or from, let's say, a Gmail or a Yahoo account, then know that that could potentially be a red flag of an employment scam, right? You want to see an email coming from a company's email, a professional email address, and the content of the email is also professional. And just generally 3 things to always keep in mind: exercise caution, slow it down, just navigating all these scams in our life is very important to kind of take one step back, slow it down, use common sense, think it through, and always, always do your research, or at least stop and ask, is it a scam or it's a real situation? And as I promised, I will be sharing you a few resources of where to go, where to report a scam. Always your local police service or RCMP is the first place to go if you are if you're actually a victim of a scam, if you lost money, if you're a victim of an identity scam. Also, our government, Service Alberta Consumer Investigation Unit, we can help you, your bank, your financial institution for any online scams, any credit card types of scams, any cryptocurrency investment types of scams. They could help you. Better Business Bureau, we are here for you to look up a scam or report a scam through our scam tracker, and a Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, which is our federal government who also investigates on frauds and scams. They mainly investigate frauds and scams in Canada. And just this is our contact information if you have additional questions. If there's anything you'd like to share that I didn't cover today, or we didn't answer to any of your questions today in this session, feel free to reach out to us. Our main email address is info@calgary.bbb.org. I will be also leaving you my direct email address, odeta@calgary.bbb.org. Our website, again, bbb.org. And I thank again to our trusted sponsors, Peregrine General Pest Control and H&R Block. And with this, I'm opening our Q&A session. We have a little bit of time for that.
That's great. Thank you.
Heather, yes. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Any
questions? So I'm gonna invite everybody to put in your questions or comments into the chat box. We did have somebody pop something into our Q&A. Was talking about Commerce Core UAB. And it was something to do with UK. I apologize because I wasn't sure if there was a question in there. I I almost fell for the the card scam where they're like, I got an email on my first day from our boss, Larry, asking for gift cards, and it was an emergency. And then he's like, can you just connect with me on WhatsApp? And I'm like, yeah, here's the number. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I am so dumb. And that was actually the message that I sent to them on my WhatsApp. Like, you guys suck. I almost fell for it. Like, get off my phone. It's easy. And they're so smart. And I can say 100%. I did a stint with employment insurance with the government in the call center during COVID. And I got a call during training from the government saying I was going to jail and that I owed them money. I'm like, I asked the instructor, I'm like, am I going to jail? He's like, no, we don't call. We just arrest you. So,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and that's what, oh, sorry, Heather.
no, I was
did
just going to
not mean to
say
interrupt.
government doesn't call and ask you for money. Government doesn't call and say that you're going to be arrested. They send you those emails that say you have a message in your inbox that you can't ever log into. So you have to call them anyway. It's just
Exactly, and that's a good point. So just getting through CRA, especially during tax season, it would take you 2 weeks. So that's how we know that they don't have a physical time to call every person, every citizen in this country to tell them what they need. And the other thing is, it's good that we are bringing this up. Any company or any government or anyone. So I'll say sometimes I get asked, but how do we know? Or like I don't know. And even they sometimes ask me, how do we know you are not a scammer? So I say, good point, good question. So I would say in simple 2, 3 words. I'll say, when somebody just reaches out to you just to inform you about something, they'll just say, hey, we are the CRA. We just want to let you know that we assessed your taxes this year and we finalized it. Please log into your, as you said, Heather, log into your My Account, verified information, let us know if you're okay, whatever it is. And that's it. Goodbye. Thank you. So there's no call for action. There's no invitation to do anything. So then you're probably okay. But as soon as you hear that I need you to confirm this and that and your date of birth and your SIN number and that, then then you need to be very careful because you really don't know who you're talking to. My husband got a call. They said they are from our bank. They turned out to be from our bank. But the question was, hey, we just need you to confirm your date of birth. My husband, when he heard that, he said, I'm not feeling comfortable to doing so over the phone. And is there any other alternative method that we could do this safely? And the bank said, not a problem. We do understand that you are skeptical about this and you are scared, and we respect this. So this is my name. This is my branch number I called you from. Please feel free to visit our location, talk to me or anyone else there. We do need to look at some things in your account. Whenever you are available, come see us. That's it. Okay. So there was no any other further pressure, wasn't anything you have to, you must. If you don't, right, you're going to go to jail, as you said, Heather, right? When you hear those things, just hang up the phone. Don't even stay engaged any longer. As just the safest, I would say.
I had a second one with TD, with a credit card, and it said that it had been compromised, and I'm like, ugh, but I didn't know if it was a scam, so I hung up. But then I called TD, and
Good.
they're like, we won't call you and tell you. We just shut your card down, and you call us. So again, it's those things where if you question it at all, just hang up, and then
go to the source.
Contact the company, from their website that you researched, that you Googled.
Absolutely. Go directly to the source and talk to them. And I will even say, if you have the time, if you can, walk in, like physically into an institution and ask to speak there. I always like to have this face-to-face connection in person, look into people's eyes and then do that way. I definitely never, under no circumstances do I give out information about myself over the phone or in a message, no matter who they say they are. They could say they are from the police. They could say they are from, regardless of what they're saying they're from, I just train my brain so that I do not give them any information about myself. So it may be rude, maybe it may come across as rude, but legitimate businesses will understand and will respect that you are scared to do so. So that's we need to protect ourselves. If we don't protect ourselves, it's hard for anyone to do that for us.
We did a presentation, it's over a year ago, and the police officer actually, probably a really simple piece of advice that I'm going to share with all of you, is he said, just don't click on anything in an email. He's like, even if it looks like it's from TELUS or your bank, and it's like, click here to get your invoice. He's like, no, just go to the website, log in, and get your information. Because they do look very, very real, and you don't know. I mean, even techie people get scammed.
Yes, just it comes down to that impersonation. Often our IT company every month send us phishing email tests just to test us, just to see how careful we are. Yeah, how careful, how alert we are, how quickly we recognize a possible phishing email. And then when we do recognize it, we report it to them and we get a congratulations. This was a test. You passed the test. Good for you. Now, there are times when we don't recognize it and we don't pass the test. And the IT company comes back and says, not good enough. If this was an actual phishing email, now you would have fallen victim to it, you would have potentially bring damage to the company you work for, right? So even employees, like us as employees, right, where we work, we need to be a little careful as if we are clicking on links, as you said, Heather, if you are just complying, if you are changing passwords because somebody asked you to do so, that could bring a lot of damage to a company. And as you said, they look legitimate. They look like they are from our IT company because it's the signature, everything matches. It's the perfect grammar, perfect punctuation. They're using AI technology to make these emails look perfect. So it's really hard now to know what's real and what's not. But what I tell to my colleagues at BBB always, when in doubt, report it as phishing email, right? It's just...
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the important part is to report it. It's like, oh, everybody gets scammed and spam and whatever. But yeah, the cops actually do say, please just call us on the non-emergency line and let us know
Absolutely.
because they track.
They do. And I believe according to Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, it's less than 10% of people who fall victim to a scam that they report to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. So that's not a lot. So there's so many people out of shame or out of, oh, they won't do anything. Oh, they'll get so many scams. What does my report do? I'll say, let's not underestimate our law enforcement agencies' efforts because we don't know what they're working on. Of course, there are lots of their work is confidential, so they're not going to share with the public. However, that little piece that we are sharing with them might help them to complete their work or work on further strategies or whatever they are working on. So it's important to report, yes.
We do have another question.
Yes.
Let's see. Password protection. What would you recommend for password?
For passwords, I will say that passphrases might be a better option. Passphrases, which are a little like, instead of just a word with, let's say, a symbol or a number attached to it, let's do passphrases. So a little longer, almost a sentence that where you use a combination of upper letter, lower letters, symbols, numbers, and that could help. I'm just gonna give you whatever random, like, the grass is green in summer, 1, 2, and then question mark or whatever. And then you do this uppercase, lowercase, one letter is uppercase, one letter is lowercase, like a combination of this. So make it harder, but easy enough for you to remember it, but hard enough for anyone to guess it. And always never do things, passwords such as, if you decide to just go with simple passwords, but then don't do 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't use the name of your pets or any name of family members. Those can be found through social media. And actually, I believe credit card companies say if you're using a too easy password, that it's easily breakable, they're not going to help you. So because it's your fault that you didn't create a stronger password. So just keep this in mind to make it passphrases. Oh, and another tip I would say, biometrics. So fingerprints. If you can use fingerprints on your smart devices, do so. Fingerprints are still the safest as that cannot be reproduced. I will say voice and facial structures can be reproduced, but fingerprints is your fingers, right?
Yeah, and you can't forget your fingerprint.
And you can forget it. So yeah, use those.
We've got...
Just wanted to comment on your,
go for it.
Yes, Yana.
From my point of view, the scariest scam for now, when they can fake the voice of your loved ones. And once again, I know people who've been scammed like this because it was in the beginning. Now I can hear it from here and there, but they were one of the first. And they went through the whole family circle. So it was 7 people who got this call from child, and 3 of them transferred money. So yeah, Italian people, they kind of all about family, and it was scary, absolutely scary. So we kind of discussed it as a family, and we decided that we're gonna go with the password word.
Code.
If you call me and something happened and it's bad, you just need to say this word, and that's how I know this is you. Because, like, once again, I'm totally with you when you say just hang up and call back. But if your kid not answering, just like for any reason, you're gonna get crazy. So
Absolutely.
and you cannot think straight at this moment. But
Right.
if you always remember at least to do this one as a first check,
Yeah.
so it's kind of easy. Afterward, you can hang up and say, "Look, okay, it was you. This is the number. Like this is the money that you want," even if they told you, yeah, everything, and you can proceed feeling more comfortable. But like for me, it was very scary. What do I do if I hang up and they call you back and you're not answering? I'm gonna die here without this information.
Good.
And
No,
now,
that's good one, Yana. And I agree. I totally agree. I think the most secure thing is that code or password that you're using within your family. Only your family knows the passcode or the code. Don't tell it to anyone. And it makes sense if we think of the police and military and people in the military. They all have a passcode, a code that they use, right? A different like body language and codes. So yeah. That's a great tip. Thank you, Yana, for that. Absolutely.
That's a really good one. We do have
Yeah.
a couple of other questions here.
Mhm.
Um, VPNs and keeping your personal computer safe. Do you know much about VPNs and if they're worth it or not?
And I do not. I
Nope, that's
apologize. I'm
okay.
not very, very technical.
That's
Uh,
okay. What do
yeah,
we got? Oh, is there any new emerging scams based on recent technology? So Yana brought it up with the voice.
the voice
Are there
technology.
there new things that you've started to see or that they've been warning about?
Well, the voice technology will be coming probably more and more involved, more and more sophisticated, as they are, as Yana said, they are reproducing your loved one's voice and they sound like your loved one. You don't know anymore. But not really. I mean, they're using everything they can and a combination of everything. So a lot of online purchases, a lot of them of different everything, different kinds of
Mm.
fake websites, fake products that never exist on a website. A lot of impersonating employment job boards, employment agencies, just this pretend to be who they are not. And it's just almost we live in a world when we look up something, we don't even know anymore if it's real or not. So just it's really can't even say what to do in that case because some people tell me, but it's such a hard work. Like we almost have to use all our time just to navigate through what's real or what's not. Unfortunately, this is the reality, and I don't think scammers are going away. They are just gonna stay with us, and they're gonna use even more technology to their advantage.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but AI is a definitely it will become more and more sophisticated